Hello everybody. Today is the 21st of November, and as always, we're gonna tell the page story. This page story has changed a lot of people's life, especially into why something happened to our life and how we can create or manifest our dream life in a very certain way. Are you ready? Let's get started. What is this? It's a pen. What do we use this pen for? To write. Now there's a dog inside the room. I'm gonna wave this in front of the dog. What does the dog do? The dog probably will sleep, blink, or chew this right. Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct, the dog or the human? The answer is both correct. For the dog, this one is a true and white, right? For the human, this one is a pen to write. The dog is correct in the dog world, and the human is also correct in the human world. And that is our first lesson. Both are correct. Now, let's imagine that there is a table in front of me. So I'm going to put this thing on the table, and then both the dog and I will walk out the room. So inside the room, there'll be no human, no dog. What does this thing become? It is still a pen or a chewing toy. Oh, it's become almost nothing, and the ancient wisdom call it as the emptiness. The emptiness is actually a very magical definition as we understand the emptiness. We'll be able to achieve anything in our life, just like you see Michael Roach applied the emptiness into his business and was able to build a business with revenue of $250 million a year. He's also able to help several refugees. So what is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? Let's go back to the page story, okay? So this thing currently on the table, when there is no human, no dog, it is almost nothing. But as soon as I go back into the room and I look at this, it's become a pen. When the dog come back to the room and the dog look at this becomes a chewing toy. And when both the dog and I come back to the room at the very same time, we both look at this at the very same time. What does this thing becomes? It becomes two things, a pen for me and a chewing toy for the dog. So a single thing when there is no human, no dog, or nothing to interact with. It comes back to a true self and we call it the emptiness. However, it also has the potential to become anything or anyone depending on who or what is looking at that at the very moment. And that is our second lesson. Along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. Now, I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me or does this pen coming from the thing itself? Oh, this pen is actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if this thing is a pen itself and the dog or anything in this entire universe, we have to see it as what it is, which is a pen. But does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. This pen is actually coming from my mind. And everything is actually coming from our mind. And that is our third lesson. Everything is actually coming from our mind. Now we all agree that this pen is coming from my mind, right? So I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to think this one become a diamond, okay? So please pray with me. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Open my eyes. It's still a pen. So what in my mind that forced me to see this as a pen but not a diamond? There are said inside our mind that the ancient wisdom calls karma. When we see something, the seed inside our mind pop up, open up, and cover this thing and make us see it for what had been planted earlier into our mind. So who planted the seed into our mind then? Only you can plant the seed into your mind. Only I can plant the seed into my mind. How can we do it? By three ways, by our word, by our action, by our thoughts, especially to work on the people. So for instance, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna say that I have the pen. Would you like to have this pen? And when my friend say yes, please, I'd be so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. When I give this to my friend, this problem will open up and both me and my friend will see it and it's still living mark in my mind. A couple days later, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the seed of the pen has already been planted into my mind. And now it pop-up open up and cover this thing and made me see it for what had been planted earlier into my mind, which is a pen. And this is how a pen become a pen, or anything surround us become what and who they are to us. In the pen story, there are several meaningful lessons. Today, we went over 4 different lessons. The first lesson is both are corrupt. So we learn to respect each other's opinion, we learn to respect each other's choices, and we learn to listen to each other with a compassionate heart. And remember, everything, everyone do anything is they always have their own opinion, their own reason. So everything is always good in one way or another. The second lesson is along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. So trust your potential, trust the potential of everyone or everything surround you, and trust the potential whatever happened to you. And every moment in this life is a very magical moment, because in that very moment anything can happen. And another way to looking at the second lesson is that, knowing that everything will change, right? Is the emptiness and the potential mean that everything will change, everything will evolve. So there will be nothing that stay constant. So just knowing that fact, so we learn to cherish every moment, because that very moment, that is that is where it is. That is all we have, this very moment. So we cherish what we have right now, this very moment, and that's why this very moment is a very, very important moment. And when we learn about that, we learn to let go as well, because we know that everything will change. So we learn to accept the fact that nothing stays the same, and we learn to, again, one more, embrace the moment and learn to let go of the expectation. And the third lesson is, along with the third lesson is, everything is actually coming from the seed inside our mind. So be 100% responsible to whatever happened to you. Don't blame anyone, because in the end, you are the only one who can plant the seed into your mind. And how can we do it? By 3 ways: by our word, by action, by our thoughts, through ourselves and other people. And that led us to the fourth lesson on how to create or manifest our dream life, by first knowing what we want to have in our dream life, and we start planting those seeds using our word, our action, our thoughts toward other people and toward ourselves. So for instance, if we want to have happiness, we have to plant that happiness seed using our action, our thoughts, helping other people and ourselves to be happier. If we want to have health, then we have to plant that health seed using our word, our action, our thought, helping other people as well as ourselves become healthier. And when you do that, when you start planting the seed using your word, your action, your thoughts, with other people and yourself, helping everyone and yourself getting the seed you want, then that is the best way to plant the seed, and that's just going to come back to you. And with that, we learn a very, very important lesson, is that your current act, your current word, your current thoughts is what create your future life. So making sure you are very careful, be very mindful of your thought, your word, and your action, because that is what your future life is relied on. And the last thing that I would like to share with you all today is recently I've been thinking a lot about discipline and persisting. And I do believe that they are, in the long run, being persistent and being disciplined is something that really get you carried away. And then I saw, when I surfing Facebook, and I saw a picture of, motivation, the difference between motivation and discipline is that for motivation, you do really, really well in the first couple of days. But as the motivation fade wave away, then you start getting rest and you start going down. But then with discipline, you didn't get to that high pick up about motivation, but what you have is a small going up like this, you work and then you rest, and then you work again, and then you rest, and then you work again. But in the end, the slope will actually going up rather than going up like this and then going down. So I think that what they mean. So motivation is a great, great thing, and it give you a burst of energy, it carry you to different places, and giving you wonder. However, for a long run, being disciplined and persistent is what will make sure that you consistently improve. So I think the importance of it is all into your mind, your action, and your work. Being this disciplined and seeing what you want to make sure that you get it in your future life. And thank you everyone for listening to me today. Thank you, Anil, for accompanying me in this 3,000-day journey. And it by me sharing with you my pen, the pen story of my lesson is something good. I would like to dedicate that to my dearest family, to my friends, to my coworker, to my clients, to my, or to anyone who, to any living things in this world and any other words with love, wisdom, and gratitude. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.